Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Whatever time it is you're tuning in, it is time for Discussion Combustion Podcast, episode 59.
We almost at 60.
We're getting there.
We're getting close.
Close in on that milestone. We got another good one lined up tonight. But of course, this wouldn't be possible without our great support from Wild Outdoor Adventures. Head on over to WOAMEET.com and sign up for free for all their outdoor activities.
Absolutely. This is a great company. If you're in Colorado, you're passing through Colorado, you want to learn about Colorado, you want to talk to people out here, the website is for many different things. You could blog on there. They have Hope for Teens. They have veteran-specific programs, entrepreneurial things as well. So kind of the whole premise behind Wild Outdoor Adventures is a place where people can get together, communicate, and then also go explore together.
Yeah, absolutely. Their whole mission statement is to bring people together, connecting people wherever you're at, obviously particularly Colorado-based for the most part. But WA does have a global reach. So, if you're wherever you're at, you can tune in, you can blog with others on there. They have the interactive blog service on their website. All of it's completely free, of course. Find them on social media. Check out what kind of trips they got coming up. Kev does a great job at organizing backpacking trips, overnight hikes, what have you. Really a great opportunity to see the Colorado outdoors. If you just moved here and you're feeling a little bit like, I don't know if I want to take that on, WA is a great way to do it.
Yeah, their YouTube channel, you could see some of the hikes they go on, people that you'll be hanging out with. And most of the stuff is actually no charge unless if there's, rentals of that nature. So a lot of the things you can go on there, go on the website, no charge, see what's happening in no charge, and then also get your boots on the trails at no charge.
Yeah, really is, man. Great way to get people connected. Hope for teens, hope for veterans, bringing singles together, offering all kinds of great services. That is less streaming and more exploring, WOAMEET.com. And guys, while you're at it, be sure to head over to teespring.com/DCPC. Grab yourself a shirt, definitely supports us. Get a little bit of merchandise out there.
Some DCPC throwbacks.
Yeah, get the logo flowing around,
I want to get a hoodie.
They look good. Yep. Yeah,
kind of sport that. They got leggings.
They got all kinds of stuff. Fall's coming. Get that merch out there. You can be rocking our cool logo, and we certainly appreciate it. Helps the show. And if you are watching on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Greatly helps the visibility. And, helps us come back every Wednesday and keep putting out great content and have great guests. And
we do have a great guest tonight. Sam was actually recommended to us from one of my very great friends, Clint, and so I know I'm holding you with high esteem because he keeps good company, man. Welcome on, man.
Welcome aboard.
Thanks. Yeah, it's great to be here.
Good to meet you, man. Yeah, we just made about 10 minutes, ago off mic, so he walked in the studio ready to go. It's been a while since we've had a guy or gal that we haven't met just come into the studio and hop right onto the show.
Nice. Episode 59. I kind of want to come back next week and be your 60th.
Oh yeah,
episode.
Yeah.
We could probably do a back-to-backer.
I mean, we've never done that before, but who knows? There's a first time for everything. But yeah, I mean, Clint did a great job designing our website. If you guys haven't been over to discussioncombustion.com, be sure to check that out. Clint did a good job hooking us up there. So, to tie the whole story together, that's how he gave us the lead on Sam here. Mm-hmm. And what was that, a week ago? He's like, I'm on board. Let's do this.
So, Sam, it sounds like you're into working out. You are on the social media here, maybe a little TikToking. Things of that nature, so, I feel like we're going to have a good episode, a lot to talk about here.
So much to talk about, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy times. How's the Corvid been treating you?
I got to say, this sounds maybe insensitive, right? Because there's so many people who've had such a tough time getting laid off or getting sick or who hate being stuck at home. Mm. But I love it. I actually really enjoy not having to jump in the car. Yeah, like first thing in the morning and commute. I live in Denver, but I work in Boulder, so it's a solid 45-minute drive at least. 36, huh? Yeah. So, when that hit and everyone was at home, it's like, man, I just bought like at least 10 hours a week, back and not having to deal with the stress of sitting in traffic every morning, every afternoon. So, I mean,
You could whap the fly, man. Yeah. We got a pesky fly down here tonight for some reason.
He wants to be on board.
This thing's trying to get a piece of the action.
Yeah. So anyway, COVID's been, I look at it like count your blessings, try and look at the bright side.
I think it's been a good opportunity for people to slow down a little bit. Like, like you said, it cuts down on commute times. People are home. Without the access to outdoor activities and concerts and whatnot, it's really just been an opportunity for people to do Netflix and sit at home. And I think it's been good to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Have you guys seen, there's this poet, his name is escaping me right now, I have to look him up, but he did this poem called The Great Awakening, I think is what he called it. And he's talking about COVID.
Really?
He's talking about everything slowing down, no more flying, no more driving. He's talking about like how it sort of shocks the system, but how we as humans start to slow down and learn about ourselves and remember what's important. It's a really cool poem. You can find. He like did a video on Instagram.
The Awakening.
The Great Awakening.
The Great Awakening.
I think is what
That's
it's
the name of the
called.
poem.
I think yeah.
And kind of reflects what we're seeing, what's
Yes.
going on.
Yeah.
Almost got it.
Totally positive spin on what coronavirus has done, to all of us.
I think we have to have some sort of positive spin.
I mean, I'm fortunate through this. My job hasn't been affected. My girlfriend's job hasn't been affected. My family members have all been safe. My boss at work, he did get COVID, but recovered.
Full recovery.
So fortunately, like but there's a lot of people that are being affected negatively,
Sure.
like as far as like job security and housing and all this other stuff. It's crazy. But since I'm part of the, it has been nice to be able to slow down and not have to drive into work and give yourself that extra time. And I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yeah.
It's been kind of nice, but like, I wish, people are like, you have time to yourself now to, if you're not taking this time to grow. And like, I accidentally drank way too much in the beginning of COVID. So that
accidentally.
So that was a horrible start. And then like, I got this injury that I'm nursing. So I can't really like be going into too much activity.
Yeah.
So I'm just I'm trying to get to that point where, all this extra time is, I'm using it to help build myself a little bit more, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think people have put a lot of pressure on themselves to do so. They're like, I got all this extra time, I need to be doing things. I'm still out in the field. I'm one of the, I don't know if you call me essential, but I'm in the line of fire, and I have been since this whole thing started. So wearing a mask for me has been since day one, all day long, all day strong. Just kind of get used to it, I don't really like, I heard a pretty good quote about it though. Sneezing with a mask on is like shitting your pants for your face.
Yeah.
And I think that's a pretty accurate description of what it feels like.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think this has just been a good opportunity for people to maybe find different activities and hobbies and I don't know, online dating, whatever. I mean, what's that looking like?
Well, so I started dating someone during quarantine.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Well, it was interesting. I've been doing the online dating thing, and that's a whole bucket of worms that we could talk about for a while. But
that seems like a scary situation to me.
well, it was interesting when quarantine started because suddenly all the pressure was off to like go out on real dates.
Yeah.
So it made it really easy to be like, hey, let's just connect for like 15, 20 minutes via FaceTime or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Or a lot of the apps had like a built-in like video chat thing that they added, or maybe it was already there. So it was like, you don't have to worry about like picking. It wasn't as difficult to like pick a day, pick a time. Where are we gonna go? Then you have to get ready. Then you have to go, and then there's this awkward like, I don't know if you guys have done this, like going out on first dates or whatnot, but you show up at a restaurant, you don't know the person, and you have to do that whole dance around each other of like getting to know in the beginning, and the barrier to doing that was so much lower when you're just sitting at home on the couch and you just have like this much your face
Yeah.
that you got to show.
You have a lot more freedom at that point. The expectations are probably a little bit lower.
Exactly. If it doesn't
You're
work
like-
out, it doesn't work out.
It's
You
getting
just play the
exciting.
angle.
It's getting a little
Exactly.
exciting. Like, is it getting exciting?
Yeah.
Is it? You like start
Yeah,
hanging, but-
based on the angle, like how much is in the frame, how the date is going.
Yeah.
But you're like, I didn't just waste like $30 on a nice dinner
Yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
And so it's just a different experience. It made it easier to like take some risks and,
That's true. So is it working out for
Shoot
you,
your
the
shot.
dating right now?
it is.
Just wait,
Really?
you got somebody?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been going well.
Terrific.
We started seeing each other. Let's see. Let me get this story straight. So we did a couple of like video chats first, and then took the risk. This was still kind of early on in quarantine when most people were like barely venturing out their doors.
Yeah.
He lived alone and like wasn't. He was working from home. I was doing the same. He went like either of us was out and about much. So I was like, do you want to just come over for dinner one night? And he was like, sure, jumped on it. And from that point on, we just started spending a lot of time together. And in quarantine, I mean, like I said, it was like we were
got a lot of
quarantined
time.
together.
Yeah, we got a lot
Exactly.
of time.
Plenty of time to get to know
You
each
don't
other.
want to see anybody else because could you be infected?
Right.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
there's not that excuse of, well, I'm busy because I got this other thing going on. It's
Exactly.
like, no, you don't.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of cool. It was a nice way to like kind of it feels scandalous. It's like, oh, we met illegally during
Yeah.
COVID quarantine, but
Yeah, breaking the rules a little bit.
breaking the rules. Yeah.
So was it like right when the lockdown hit, like the stay-at-home order?
I mean, it was within like the first couple of weeks or
Okay.
something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. See, that first 2 months, I was very avid on like, we're ordering groceries in,
Mm-hmm.
we're doing, and my lackadaisicalness with it, like I've rechecked because I'm like, this thing's still around. I need to continue to be serious about this.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, in the very beginning, I was like super serious.
Yeah, it was hard to figure
That was
out.
risky.
Well, we just didn't know what was what, you know?
Yeah.
We didn't know. We shut the podcast down for like 7 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We just said, let's see what happens,
Yeah.
you know? And, you know, so far it's been going okay. We got our sanitizer, and it's a lot of guests don't want to come in studio, though, you know? So people still aren't ready to venture fully out yet, I don't feel like.
Yeah.
So...
It is hard. It's like, what's the right thing? In the beginning, you know, people were like being very diligent about like, you bring home your groceries and then you wipe everything down.
I still do that a little bit.
You still do that?
Yeah, I do. I try to anyway.
Yeah, like just constantly cleaning everything and then, you know, figuring out like what's the etiquette when you see people, you know.
Sure.
Maybe a fist bump, you
Fist
know, or the
bump,
elbow.
the
Yeah, the
thing.
elbow.
You know,
the
don't
fist
feel
bump.
awkward being awkward right
Yeah.
now. It's okay.
Just quick kiss on the cheek, you know, like the French, you know, the bisou.
That's hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I did a wedding last weekend in Fort Collins. It was my girlfriend's sister, and it was beautiful. It was only 36 people, so a lot of people couldn't make it. But it was a very beautiful wedding. Like, I was tear-jerking for like 2 days straight. Like, I'm almost just talking about how emotional it was that I could get a little emotional right now about it.
Like
But,
those weddings get you a little
it was,
choked up.
it was a beautiful wedding, man.
That's nice,
and
man.
everybody there meant a lot to me. Okay, that's saying too much.
Yeah.
It's real nice, though.
No, but
Fire.
but my boy Brandon down here, I just want to give a quick shout out, man. It was really nice meeting him. Really cool guy down in Texas, but it's interesting because it's a COVID wedding, so it's like, how do you do this? Like, how does it happen? And everybody was like very mask on at the beginning, and then like, you know, as you know the night progressed, we all kind of, you know, realized, okay, you know, all the staff is still wearing a mask. Like, most the people there weren't wearing masks by the end, and then, but you know, so it's kind of like, yeah, how do you do it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, you say you did the wedding. Were you like the officiant at the wedding, or you were just there to attend?
I was attending.
Oh, gotcha.
I was
Okay.
just attending.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But
Did they have a lot of people traveling in?
they had, yeah, a lot of people had to travel, even the bride and groom, because they live in California.
Okay, wow.
And a lot of their family lives out here, is why, you know, and they lived out here when they proposed to each other.
Did they have all the guests and stuff like social distance?
Yeah, for the most part, all the tables, but people just naturally kind of go over and talk, and then
Yeah.
you know, people go, and then we hang out and then kind of dance, and then dancing's fun. It's easy to forget sometimes, you know, the rules.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
But as far as we know, no one there was sick. No one is sick, and
That's
so
good.
so like, let's just keep that going.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a lot of hand sanitizer. They gave away goodie bags, had hand sanitizer in it. And,
Oh, that's funny.
you know, so that's like
That's
product of the year.
I know. That's going to be
gold.
Christmas gifts and everything this year.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's become the new norm.
Interesting. Yeah. Did they have like a full dance floor with folks?
I mean, but there wasn't that many people, like 25 per. Yeah, but we kind of had fun and danced, and you know, like you dance.
Yeah.
This is kind of normal.
That'd be
Really?
hard. I'd really
Yeah.
struggle if I was at a wedding and there's like great music and great food and everything, and everyone's like, you gotta stay 6
come
feet
on.
apart. I'd be
Come
like,
on, get
I
on
don't
here.
know.
Get on the
That's
dance floor with us.
Yeah.
You know, but one of my coworkers also had a wedding last week, and he was like, "There's 130 something people there."
That's quite a bit.
And that was in Kansas, and he was like, "Yeah, it was kind of a lot. I just hung out on the side with my family, and
Yeah.
you know, this and that." But it's just kind of crazy. The whole COVID times, like, how do you do it? How do you do it right? You know, but I've definitely not been doing my weight right. I actually, I'm gonna just say something embarrassing. I gained weight so quickly that I actually got stretch marks on my stomach
Oh, man.
from the weight coming in so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have that going on now.
So you're tracking that up to the quarantine and the injury.
Quarantine, injury, alcohol, eating,
Well,
and not working out because of the injury. See, I was able to maintain the weight when I was able to work out, but since I couldn't walk or do anything.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are struggling with that, you know, trying to figure out ways at home to eat right. And Sam, you talked about that Whole30 a little bit off mic.
Yeah.
I literally heard about it for the first time today, you know, on social media. Somebody was doing it, and I was like, huh, what's this all about?
Yeah. Oh man, Whole30. Okay, so
Is it like paleo? I've heard it's a little like
they're,
similar to it.
Yeah, they're related. I can't remember. It's like a Venn diagram. Maybe all paleo is Whole30, but maybe no, Whole30 is paleo, something like that. I don't know. So the guy that I started dating actually is the one who told me to check out this book. It's a great book. It's called It Starts With Food. And it's the program behind Whole30. It's the people who came up with Whole30. And it's great because they go through, basically Whole30 says it takes all the different types of foods. It says they're either in the good category or the not great category. And it specifies why. It goes through like these are our standards for what makes food good. And what's great about the book is it goes into the science behind why those are the standards. So that was super eye-opening. And then it says, eat this way for 30 days. It's not easy. Your body may kind of freak out a little bit because you're not eating things that you're used to eating. And then at the end, but then once you kind of get through that, your body will readjust. You'll find yourself having a lot of energy. And then if you want to start reintroducing some of the bad food category foods, feel free to do it. Just understand you're able to make a more educated decision about what you're putting in your body.
Okay. That's kind of the premises of what Whole30 is about.
Exactly.
So it's a 30-day program. Does it shock your body kind of like how people talk about like keto flu and stuff like that? I know you're not. Are you removing sugars or?
Yep, you're removing sugars. So let me see if I can remember the science. There's a couple things. It's systemic inflammation in your system. It's your hormones. It talks about the psychology of your relationship with food, right? So even if there's something that wasn't unhealthy, if it's something you have like a bad psychological relationship with, you can't stop eating it, you just want to shove it in your mouth, cut that one out. Yeah,
kettle jalapeno
I got a whole list of that, right?
Dude,
it's like sweet potato fries.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm forgetting what the fourth one is. There's like a fourth standard. So it's not like miracle shock your body into keto or live like a caveman type thing. It's pretty. Okay, and I say this, I haven't actually made it through the whole 30 days yet. I just
you're in it right now?
Well, okay. I don't want to, it's not a yes and it's not a no.
Okay.
I'm doing sort of a trial because I don't have a full 30 days. The guy I'm dating, it's his birthday in a couple weeks. I'm like, there's no way that we're not going to want to like have alcohol, have birthday cake, have ice cream. So I'm not going to make it through the full 30 days. But I was like, you know what, might as well do like a little trial run. But I'm not following all the rules. Yeah. So some of them I'm trying to, some of them I'm just like, I'll focus on that later.
That's fair. How's it treating your your attitude so far?
I definitely can tell a difference. Right?
Really?
Cutting out sugar is kind of tough, which I've always been pretty healthy. So I was like, it's not, I'm not like cramming boxes of cookies every night. But then I realized like protein bars and stuff that I'll take have sugar in them, or I don't know, yogurt, right? It's like, it's healthy, it's yogurt, but it's loaded with sugar. So I think that's been tough. And then cutting out like any grains, so like no rice, no bread, no crackers, stuff like that. Yeah, that's a lot of carbs that I usually...
So like pasta, is that...
No pasta.
Oh, man.
Yes, that's probably the toughest part is the pasta and bread.
Right, because they're so easy. It's so convenient. It's so easy to like, everyone eats sandwiches. It's so easy to make a thing of pasta. But what Whole30, they're like, don't focus on what you're cutting out. Focus on what you're adding to your plate. Yeah. And so they're advocating for you do 1 to 2 palm sizes of protein, and then you fill the rest of your plate with vegetables. And you try and get like a good mix, good variety of vegetables.
So small amounts, like lean protein, or can it be fatty?
It can be
proteins?
fatty, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they definitely advocate for like organic free range type stuff. Okay. They're like, you are what you eats, right? So if you're eating factory farmed animals that have been eating like shit and living in a confined space, and I'm not one of those like vegan super animal rights type people, but so I mean I think that's great, but when it comes down to the science of just that animal hasn't been able to like live its life, so its hormones are all off.
Yeah, it's messed up. Like it's been stressed out its whole life.
Exactly. So then you're consuming.
You want to eat stressed out meat,
right? Exactly.
Most people do. It comes in that log with the seal on the end. You're getting that regional beef that's not so good.
That's right.
Log with the seal.
Yeah, that ground beef that comes in the log with the seal. Dude, that's like the
log. Yeah,
it tastes. Yeah, you can taste the
stress.
You can taste the stress in that meat
when you cook it instead of a sizzle. It's like a slight.
You can just tell it wasn't.
I can still hear that. Like, can you just imagine how the factory works that like fills that little tube of meat?
I don't want to know. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, the USDA still
gross.
approves it. They're like,
A
oh
lot of
yeah,
ground stuff in
USDA
there.
approved. Agriculture says it's good to go, but I still question what's going on.
So it's okay to buy like the ground beef that comes in like this with the styrofoam with the plastic on top.
I like that a little bit better.
Yeah, than the brick of meat.
But even when you go farm raised, because I mean, there's a lot of times where you can go to a butcher, buy a cow that he's butched on his own land or whatever, pigs, cows. You will taste a different. It almost tastes gamey at that point. You know, real beef eating, you know, free range grass and hay and whatever the hell they eat.
Yeah.
Versus those mass, you know, Black Angus farms.
Yeah.
So chicken or beef? Which would you if you had to choose one?
Probably chicken.
Yeah.
But I eat both of those every week. I mean, those are staples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd go chicken over beef?
I would go with chicken.
I think I'm going chicken too on this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go beef.
Yeah.
I like steaks. Carne asada is delicious. I love hamburgers. I mean, I love chicken too. Don't get me
Oh, the
wrong.
hamburgers! I forgot about that.
Why can you forget about hamburgers?
I don't know.
Oh, that's what I'm having tonight when I get back home.
Really?
Oh,
What kind of
man.
hamburger you think? What are you going to put on it?
Well, gosh, I mean, not a whole lot of sexy, exciting stuff. Probably, I got this like cool Whole30 approved mayonnaise.
Ooh.
I'm from the South, so I love mayonnaise.
do
Just like
too.
lettuce, tomato, jalapenos, whatever. No cheese, unfortunately.
Yeah.
No
cheese.
dairy with Whole30.
So I accidentally bought some vegan cheese from Trader Joe's once.
Yeah.
And it was horrible.
Yeah.
It doesn't taste good.
Yeah.
It tastes
No.
bitter, I feel like.
Well, so one of the principles of Whole30 is don't try to replace the crap food with some okay replacement. Like,
Yeah.
don't try and find some cheese replacement or, you know, some
calorie-free shit.
gluten-free. Yeah, whatever. They're like, eat good food. There's so much good food.
There is.
You don't need to like find some synthetic replacement of the things that you think you like. So, would you guys ever try it? Would you ever do something
I
like
think
that where you had to give up?
I think I would try it. We do Sober October every October, and, you know, we kind of get the fans involved. And I think it's fun to do those kind of 30-day, 31-day challenges. And I would try it, I think.
Yeah.
I'm for that, man, because I mean I'm a sucker for a hamburger and stuff like that.
I love cheeseburger.
But yeah, I'm craving more veggies kind of recently, and I enjoy eating that more, and
Yeah.
it's like I'm okay with having a vegetarian meal and like like hummus and stuff like that.
Ooh, hummus is good.
And so it would be nice to kind of dial back from the artificial, the high fructose corn syrup instead of
That
just
stuff's terrible.
like that man-made crap, and it doesn't do the body good. Like when
Right.
you're eating that stuff, like if you start eating healthier, then you do start to feel better, and it's just getting through that first couple weeks. So that's definitely something that I've always kind of thought about. I've never really went all in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely consider doing it. Would I do it? I might be able to.
I think I could do it because I like vegetables. I generally do enjoy them. We had a gentleman on last week by the name of Hundo, and he enlightened us on cruciferous vegetables.
Oh, I listened.
Did you listen?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
We fact checked him though.
Uh-oh.
Brussels sprouts are cruciferous.
They are.
They are?
Yes, they were
Oh,
both
so
cruciferous.
Hundo-
Both things were
I was like,
cruciferous.
I've never heard that word before. I had to Google
We didn't
it.
either.
Yeah, I was like, what is cruciferous?
Yeah, he was pretty excited about it.
That was
But-
fun though.
but
That
yeah.
was fun.
Yeah.
So we'll have to let Hunter know that Brussels sprouts are cruciferous. But
Yeah, because you actually texted me a picture of that, and you're like, it's on there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's funny. I picked two colon healing vegetables to
Mm-hmm.
pick from.
I didn't know that broccoli healed my colon, but I'm glad it does.
That's a big part of it. That's the fourth one. It's your intestinal health, your
Oh,
gut
okay.
health. So it's
Oh,
that,
yeah.
inflammation, hormones, and the psychology.
Okay.
Yeah, and the psychology part is really cool. It talks about like the like processed stuff, how they like super load things with salt and sugar, so the flavor is like crazy good. That's why we love cupcakes and whatever delicious crap we buy from the grocery store. But the way your brain works, it's the like pleasure and reward system. So when you eat something that has a lot of flavor, your brain's telling your body like that's good. That's a good thing. Like
That's
that's
that dopamine
food.
release.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
releases the dopamine. It's like do that again. The problem is those foods have like no nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
So the rest of your body is like, okay, but we need more.
It's searching
So
for that
it's-
nutrition.
It's like a vicious cycle where your body's like, give me more, and your brain's like, let's do
With
that
that again.
super sweet or super
Yeah.
salty thing. And before you know it, you're like, you've eaten all this crap that's not doing anything for your
And
body.
then your tummy kind of hurts.
And
a
then
little.
your tummy,
your
kinda
tummy.
hurts. right.
It's crazy how much sodium is in some of these foods.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
You know, I was like, what did I had something for lunch today? I was looking at the bag. It was like 76% of a daily dose of sodium in this small amount of a little bit of pasta salad.
Right.
You know, it's like, what's going on here? Why is there so much salt?
Right. Yeah.
I don't understand why the sodium content has to be so high in a lot of this shit. It's got to be the preservatives, right?
I mean, I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, salt kind of
all the
cures
stuff
Everything
that's in
goes
there.
really quick, increases the shelf life and all
Yeah.
that. It's part of the corporate war machine.
Yeah. Yeah. They can make it super cheap. They can make it last really long. All that kind of stuff.
Now, what about fruits on the Whole30? Are you able to do like apples and
Absolutely.
so natural sugars are fine? It's
Absolutely.
okay.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of people. I drink those naked juices, you know, those purees and stuff, and
Yep.
people are like, "Oh, they're so high in sugars and carbs," which it is, but it's natural stuff. So I wasn't sure how that applied to it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Fruit's fine.
Doesn't like Coke or Pepsi own naked?
I think Pepsi does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that kind of makes me question the whole thing there.
I mean,
Yeah.
I guess. It says 100% juice on it. And when you read
it says it.
when you read the ingredients, it's all puree. It's like apple puree, orange,
Yeah.
whatever's in it. You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can you really believe it though? Probably not.
I don't know. That's the thing. That's kind of what's messed. Like we're fed all this stuff, and
Yeah.
like
Well-
we're programmed just to get what we want. And
It's amazing. Because like in the 90s, remember when it was butter's bad for you? It's got to be margarine. You know, you got to go with the margarine and all this fake stuff, this sweet and low and all these fake sugars. So on Whole30, do they allow like butter and stuff like that? Can you cook with that?
They say so. Ghee, which is unclarified butter.
Yeah, I saw
where
quite a bit
they
of that.
take out all the milk protein, I think. So it's non-dairy. So that's why it's like no milk, no yogurt, no cheese.
And it's shelf stable. It doesn't need to be refrigerated.
Yep.
Gee.
Yep. And it tastes fine.
it's like
I've never-
GIA. Is that
No, it's GHEE.
Yeah.
Isn't
yeah,
it like
that's
a? I don't know. It was like a Mediterranean or like an Indian kind of thing. Isn't that where it originated?
I have no idea.
I'm not really sure either.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's regionally well put based on how it's spelled.
People like it though, for sure.
Yeah. That was an easy swap. You could buy that at any regular old grocery store.
So you doing like physical activity, like working out?
Yeah.
Still, I mean, you look like you're in great
Well,
shape.
you're a
Nice.
military guy, right?
Yeah.
don't think we
Ex-military. Yeah.
We didn't mention that. Yeah. So you're
yeah.
well. Thank you for your service.
Yes,
Absolutely.
To start
Were you
off.
Navy.
I was Navy. Yep.
Okay.
So Clint and I like to tease him because he was Army. So we
Right.
like to, whenever Army Navy game comes up, we like to give each other a hard
Oh,
time.
that's got to be fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little friendly rivalry there.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you prefer them to only be able to swim for cardio or to run for cardio?
100% definitely swim.
Yeah?
Hands down, no question. Yeah. Well, I even before Navy, like that was the sport that I did growing up. I
Yeah.
was a swimmer. And then in the Navy, I was a rescue swimmer.
Oh, badass.
That was not like my main job. Like you see all like the cool movies with the guys jumping out of helicopters
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
Oh, like The Guardian.
The
That was
Guardian,
Coast Guard, though.
that's
That was a great movie.
That was
though.
Coast Guard. Yeah, you're right.
Great movie.
Yeah. So I didn't do that, but I did like a variation of that,
Mm-hmm.
like a part-time. It was like my collateral duty. So 100% swim overall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would take that too. I think I feel better in the pool, and I grew up on a lake, so I was always swimming.
Oh, nice.
And I just feel a little bit more natural in the water. I feel a bit aquatic. We're made 80% water, so that means only 20% of me has to
There
blend
you
in.
go. Exactly.
It's all about the joints. I'm trying to save my joints.
that's
I'm
true.
swimming.
Can you
Swimming's the way to
swim
go.
with this injury?
I probably can. So it was a bad sprain, what I thought, and I'm like 100% sure that it's hairline fractures in there. So like after the first week, I stopped wearing the boot for like 2 weeks, and I was able to hobble around for like another week, and then I started walking again, like trying to walk a mile a day or maybe 2 miles on week 2. And then I went and did this wedding, which just ended last weekend, and like my feet in the dress shoes, like the type of pain, like it just didn't feel like it was a sprain, like at that point, like that long after. And there was a family friend that was down there that oversees like athletic stuff for one of the colleges down in Texas. And he was like, dude, yeah, you should probably be wearing that boot, and it's probably, this, and he recommended a couple things. So I just put it right back on when I got home.
Oh man.
So probably can't swim in it because, that motion of the
Yeah,
ankle, like
yeah.
I can't do that right
that
now.
would be difficult.
Yeah.
You could probably do some light, like water exercises.
Well, I could do my arm workouts in there. I could probably, like maybe do some sort of like.
You could probably do
'cause
something.
When I used to swim regularly, I had like a whole regimen of like I would do like these push-up things for like my biceps, and I'd like try to like do all these things in the shallow. Like swimming's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's good.
I love the water, man. It's fun to splash around.
Did you guys ever play like water polo or other types of games in the pool?
Nope. I mean,
Good.
other than as a child doing a little bit of Marco Polo, I didn't do the
Yeah.
water polo though.
Yeah.
That's probably
What polo are you talking about?
Yeah.
well, there's multiple, I think. But yeah, I got pretty aggressive into swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I've drinking so much beer over the last couple of years, I probably wouldn't be as good as I once was. But with Sober October coming, man, we need some ideas for a challenge. We're going to do another fitness challenge. What do you think we should do?
Oh, gosh. Fitness challenge.
But like something that we can be competitive in.
And
like
that our
engage
listeners,
the listeners.
and they can, everyone can be
But
tracked.
there has to be a way that we can like track who's doing what.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That your listeners are participating in?
Yeah,
this
so we
as
did it
well?
last year. We had the Sober October Fitness Challenge last year in the winter. Mountain Maid did a great job with a giveaway for them. And basically what it was, we just did a point system. You know, for every, what was it? Like every 10 reps, you got a point.
Yeah.
And then you just kept
so like
track
10
of these
push-ups,
points.
you get a point.
Okay.
Like, 10 leg lifts, you get a point.
Any exercise? Or would you
so
determine-
15 minutes of cardio, you get a point.
Okay.
Things like that.
Swimming, yeah. So this year
Wow.
we want to kind of simplify a little bit. Last year was kind of just anything you do, you can keep a point system on. But we want to do something different.
There's
this
an
year.
honor system, though. There's
was
like
an honor
no,
system.
Oh, interesting.
Now we need like an app or something to track it. I feel like.
Okay, here's a question. Do you let guys and girls compete against each other?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it still came down to reps. Not so much how much weight you were pushing,
Right.
Just basically how much time and reps you were putting in is how we simplified it. I came up with a bicycling challenge. I thought this year whoever cycles the furthest might win, but we're open to ideas.
Yeah, nice. Interesting. Okay.
Maybe I could cycle with just my heel down.
You should
and
be
that
healed
way
by
there's not-
October though, maybe.
I got to stay optimistic.
Yeah.
You got a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's some
Heal up.
time. It'll heal
months.
quickly. If I have a better diet, it'll heal even more
There you
fast.
go.
We should do the whole 30.
Okay, but fair warning, when you first start it, your body is like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And it kind of reacts up negatively, and it takes
Yeah.
a little bit of adjustment.
I mean, that's kind of how keto is too. I hear a lot of people that do keto,
Yeah.
they get real ill sometimes,
Yeah.
like 7 days in.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be able to drink beer on the whole 30.
That's right.
I might have to say that for
Now
Sober
I feel
October.
bad for offering you a beer.
Yeah.
I know.
So you're
right?
going to give up beer and everything, all the other stuff at the same
And
time?
pastas and bread and cheese.
I guess that's the only way to do Whole 30 anyway. So
That would be the
either-
month to do it.
Yeah.
Maybe we do the whole 30 Sober October.
And you know what? This is another tip. Give yourself plenty of time to prepare. That's why I'm doing my little trial run right now.
Yeah.
So I'm
Okay.
like practicing.
So this is kind of you're testing
Cooking.
out what it's
Yeah.
going to feel like, and then are you planning on doing 30 days nonstop or
Yeah.
okay
After that birthday.
after that birthday
I'll
party,
set a date, 30 days.
and then it's on.
Hardcore, no breaking the rules. Yeah. But it's nice to just practice because
get an idea of what you're getting into.
Exactly. Yeah. Got to figure out how to make, how to cook the foods and
It's true, yeah, because like it's difficult eating health. Like it's not as easy to eat healthy. Like it's easy to eat like shit.
Yeah, absolutely. You stuff anything you want.
You can just drive through someplace, but like to eat good, you have to like really prepare and like think of like, okay, I'm eating this Monday. What sounds good for my palate on Tuesday?
So
like,
I would counter that. I don't think it's hard. I think
Okay.
what's hard about it is just making the change, like the behavioral change.
That's true.
Yeah.
But once you get it, you're like, okay, this is how this is how I eat.
Then you kind of have the system. You go, this is okay. This is not okay.
Yep.
see,
so-
that's what's coming from a mindset of somebody who's like afraid to do it because I'm like, it's true.
Yeah.
Like there's always a couple different ways to look at something.
Sure. Yeah, definitely.
So like when you're preparing or cooking these veggies, can you cook them in oil? Do you roast them? Like, so what's off limits? I guess. Are you able to do like avocado oil?
Yep.
Stuff
It's
like
just it's pretty simple. It's no dairy, it's no grains, no processed food, no sugar.
Okay, that's
those-
that's the staples.
Is there anything else that I'm missing?
No dairy, no grain. So no dairy at all.
No dairy at all.
Zero lactose, so no
Correct.
cheese and all that.
That's right,
That's gonna
yeah.
be a tough one, but it's
I know.
doable.
I was like, oh, I love cheese.
Oh, cheese.
But what's great is you figure out what to replace it with that you do love.
Yeah.
That works. So yeah, you can use avocado oil, coconut oil, ghee. I cook with ghee, right?
It's all doable.
Yeah. Eggs are fine.
Oh, I love eggs.
Yeah.
I was reading that eggs are because I have a cholesterol issue that I'm getting ready to go in to get evaluated. My triglycerides were high because I love
Okay.
fried chicken, and my good and bad cholesterol, they said, were okay.
Yeah.
But the triglycerides were high, and so trying to find ways to counterbalance that and look at it. And I love eggs, but they say eggs are high in cholesterol. Like one egg is 55 milligrams of cholesterol, but it's good cholesterol.
Yes.
So I get confused on how to categorize what cholesterols I can put in my body and that aren't going to affect my triglycerides.
Right. Okay. Are you ready to have your mind blown?
Yes.
This is from the book. I didn't make this up.
All right.
So your body makes more cholesterol than you actually consume. And the foods that actually trigger your body to make cholesterol are like the grains. So your breads and your pastas and your stuff like that. I don't remember the science behind it. I have to get the book back out and read it. But that's why, like, when people say, oh, I have high cholesterol, eggs have a lot of cholesterol, I should not eat eggs. that doesn't actually add, it seems logical, but it doesn't actually add up. So they're reducing the food down to one or two things that are in it. It's the same thing when people are like, milk has calcium, I need calcium, or oranges have vitamin C, I need vitamin C. Those are true, but they also have a lot of other, things in them, and the way that your body takes all of it in and like
processes
it. Yeah, it's like you got to think about the whole system and not just one little thing.
That's true.
So Whole30's like, eat as many eggs as you want. It's not gonna. It's just like you said. It's the good cholesterol, and there's tons of protein in eggs.
I love eggs.
Right?
I like hard-boiled eggs, fried. I'll eat all kinds of eggs. I don't really like sunny side. I don't like runny yolks.
Oh, come on, man.
I don't like it.
Come on.
I don't know what it is. I don't like it gooping up the rest of what's on my plate.
Dude, but you'll eat the whole egg.
I'll eat the whole egg.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Over hard is the way I usually, if I'm doing a fried, it's going to be over hard on like a bagel sandwich.
Uh-huh.
I don't like that yolk running. Maybe I'm missing out. I don't know. But
well, if you tried it and you don't like it, then it's okay.
Hard-boiled egg with a little bit of salt and pepper. Bullseye.
See, I like to like scramble them really quick, and you never stop stirring. And then like you turn off the heat like the second that it's done, so it's not like overly cooked. It's almost like
they're still fluffy.
Questionable. Is it like cooked all the way? And you're like, yes, it is, but it's like right on that.
Yeah.
It almost tastes cheesy without any cheese if you make it like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about it.
Gordon Ramsay's perfect scrambled eggs. Did you guys ever see that?
Yes.
Where it's 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off the heat, and he just goes back and forth.
Interesting.
Basically stirring the whole time on and off the heat. Puts a little bit of creme fraiche in there or something to kind of thicken it up. Put a little bit of that sweet cream in there.
Yeah.
And they turn out good. They turn out fluffy.
Nice.
It just seems like a lot of work for scrambled eggs, I feel like.
I feel like eggs should be remarkably simple, and I still manage to screw them up all
Do you
the
really?
time. Yeah, like I'll overcook them, or like this week I made like a what do you call it? Like an egg bake with like ground beef and asparagus and other stuff mixed in, and it just came out. I mean, it was kind of like dry and crumbly, and now I have to eat it all week because I made the whole thing.
A little dry.
So, yeah,
it's not the worst thing in the world. Asparagus is good though.
Did you said you baked it?
Yeah.
Was it
Was it covered like in there while it baked?
No, I did it in a cast iron. I started on the stovetop, right, to let the bottom sort of cook, solidify. I was trying to follow a recipe. I did a very good job. And then after like halfway cooking at stovetop, then went in the oven for the rest of the time. I mean, it was all right for like the first day.
Did they have you cover it when you put it in the oven?
No.
No. I wonder if that would help like keep.
Maybe. I'll try that
some of that.
Try that next week.
I like the asparagus in there though.
Asparagus, all the good foods. We always end up talking about food on this podcast because it's like
awesome.
it's like dinner time. It's like
food.
6 or 7 we're recording, and all of us are always thinking about grubbing.
Listen, my reputation at work is the guy who's always eating and always working out, which I don't push that. They're always like, "Oh, you're the CrossFit guy," but seriously, every time we're on the computer doing like a Zoom meeting, I've got a snack. So people are always like, "Oh, you're eating again." Like, come on. Like, I am, but give me a break,
Yeah.
Love food.
Yeah, food's good, man. Yeah.
Food's important.
Now you got me thinking about asparagus a lot now. And I just, the way that it makes your urine stink, I've heard that it's a chemical in the asparagus draws a lot of the toxins from the body as it's processed through the kidneys and the liver. As I've said many times on the show, I don't know shit about shit. I'm not an expert in anything, but
we're great at opinions.
I've read that it draws toxins from your kidneys, which is why when you urinate, it reeks pretty badly.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is.
I mean, it makes sense. It's like one of those things that sounds right, so you're like, oh yeah.
I mean,
definitely.
It makes me think I know things, but I don't really think I do.
Yeah, makes me feel a little bit better about that stinky pee.
Yeah, because I mean that stuff that's not going unnoticed.
Yeah, no.
That's not going on.
You can tell. You can leave the room and I'll walk in
Someone
and I'll
be like, "Oh, that dude has asparagus."
You ate asparagus.
Somebody's kidneys are cleansed.
Yeah.
Yep. I probably need it. So, I don't know. Is that a cruciferous vegetable, asparagus?
Hip hip hooray! It could be.
No, I don't know. I'm just
No
learning
idea,
about this
man.
term is so new to me. I still don't really understand
I know.
it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hundo, for bestowing cruciferous upon us.
Yeah.
It's a cruciferous crusade.
Yeah.
And now everyone out there eating the veggies, good greens.
Every week. That can be your new thing. Instead of would you rather, you could say, all right, today's cruciferous vegetable of the week is...
Hundo would love
add
it.
it to the list. Yeah.
That's funny, man.
Yeah.
I think I had one more would you rather here because I threw 2 of them in like super smooth. I didn't even have to announce it was happening. So, So for your source of entertainment for the rest of your life,
Oh, God.
would you rather have music so you could listen to music,
Okay.
or would you rather have movies so you could watch movies? So it's like you had one or the other.
This is such a generous would you rather. It's not like choosing between two horrible things. It's like two great things. So if either way, it's like a win-win situation. Okay, but here's the catch. If I pick movies, there's still so much music in movies.
Correct.
I would definitely go with movies.
Go with movies because then you still get music.
You still get music.
But it's only in the movie.
But it's not, it's select music. I feel
yeah,
like.
that's fine. I love movie music.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes I'll put it on if I want to go to sleep and I imagine myself in a scene. But I think music for me, I'm going to go with.
You'd go with music over movies? Yeah.
Yeah, because I like having control of, like, I want to listen to this. I'm in this mood. I'm going to put that kind of music on. I like movies, and I get what you're saying. You get your music with the movies, but I like music.
You get to chill. Yeah, like I listen to too much music while I work too.
Nice.
Like, and I've always wanted to, like, I love producing, making music and stuff.
Music's like the soundtrack to life.
So I mean, but like movies though, like it'd be hard to give that up.
That would be tough.
Because when at the end of the night, like, you're not like, all right, let's go lay down and listen to this music and fall asleep. Like, you're like, let me zone out to like a movie or something.
Yeah.
You don't ever just put on music?
I do. Yeah. I fall asleep to music quite a bit.
Oh, nice.
I feel like it gets me in a more of a zone.
I never knew that part of you, Kevin. You've never done that when I stayed over.
You guys have never fallen asleep together side by side, listening to music?
No, not yet. No. But stay tuned.
Stay tuned. What do you listen to when you falling asleep?
Typically, if I'm going to put music on and fall asleep to, it's not going to be like hard rock or anything. It'll be something probably pretty mellow. Maybe something that, if I had a
calming.
Yeah, something calming.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just depends probably. If you ever get in those zones where, like, you find a new song that day and you're like, man, I can't get enough of that. You just keep hitting replay. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'll do that.
Can you fall asleep with something with words? Like lyrics?
I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I probably could.
But have you?
Yeah, I think so. I think I probably have.
I think I'd have to hear. I'd have to listen to like the Enya instrumental type stuff.
Yeah.
That's more of like I've been trying to understand meditation, and people are like, you need to meditate, and I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do it.
You just have to clear your mind. Like,
yeah, but
you have to just sit there and just think of like when Old School was on. Our boy, he was like just. And I'll always remember this because I think about it sometimes when I'm falling asleep. Now he changed my perspective of things. It's like trying to look at a blue sky, and your thoughts are the clouds, and when you notice the clouds, just look back at the blue sky. Yeah,
I mean,
something along those lines.
Yeah.
It always sounds good, and then I go to try to apply it, and my mind just wanders. Go somewhere else.
Yeah, it's hard.
So meditation is probably something I want to work on.
It's probably breath too, if you just can focus on breathing, because that's like something that's internal. So you're not really thinking about like life and all the little details. You're just thinking about breathing in, breathing out,
controlling your breathing,
and just focus on your breaths.
Makes a big difference.
It's probably a part of meditation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know Clint's big into meditation.
Clint is big into meditation. I was
thinking
really? That. Yeah.
No, Clint straight up called me up. He's like, because Clint's always an entrepreneur, like always has some business idea, and he's all like, so you just buy a space downtown, and it's just a quiet room, a place where people could go rent. There's zero noise, and they could just go sit in a quiet room in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you think? And I'm like, I think it kind of sounds good.
People
would probably do it.
Yeah, like a meditation center.
Or you could use it for other things too.
Right.
But yeah.
Have you heard about the rage rooms? This was brought to my attention 2 weeks ago.
It sounds like the opposite.
It is.
Of meditation
center. It's the exact opposite, which you can see where my mind's at, right?
Yeah.
We had a guest on Mikey Wheel a couple weeks ago, and he was telling us about it. And basically, you go in there. It's exactly what it sounds like. You get your aggressions out. You can take a sledgehammer to an old laptop. You can beat the hell out of things and just take your aggressions out.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think I might try it.
Does it work?
I don't know, but I know that if I'm angry about something, there's that fly.
Like that fly? Yeah.
Yeah, like that fly. Aggressive, like punching bags and stuff, speed bags is what I used to go to get some of that out. It's important to release that energy. Everybody has different ways of doing it. So
interesting.
I don't know. That might work.
I just make random noises through the day, like ah. My girlfriend's very patient.
Arthur does do some weird things.
No, because I can't move really. So I was sitting at my desk. I'm working. It's so busy. I can't leave the freaking desk.
Yeah.
So I just scream.
So post Navy now.
Post Navy. Yeah.
So how many years did you do in the Navy?
4 years.
Okay. Did your 4? What, like 18 to 22? I'm assuming.
I actually joined at 22.
Okay.
So did 4 years after college.
Okay.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Yeah.
Good experiences.
Wouldn't trade it for the world. So
Really?
It was kind of, so I enlisted after college.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of a tough career choice because I ended up being like, man, this whole like moving around every couple years, needs of the Navy. It was kind of tough finding the actual job that I wanted to do. So I was like, I'm going to get out. But those, like the experience I had when I was in, I mean, was so phenomenal. Like getting to work with people from all walks of life. There's no like, I mean, I guess there's a little bit of political bullshit. Probably as you move, get higher up in your career, it probably gets political. But as a junior enlisted sailor, it was like, we're all just here to like do a job and like get our career started. And so it was, it was fun. Everyone had a good time. And we deployed to, so I was on a destroyer, nice. The USS Barry, and we deployed to the Mediterranean, which is not too bad as far as deployments go. And
we're in the Mediterranean.
So, well, I mean, we like came over like across the Atlantic. So we went across the entire Mediterranean, but we were basically on the eastern side off the coast of Israel for most of the deployment. But we'd stop in at like, we'd go to Greece multiple times. We'd pull into port in Israel, which was kind of cool. We went to Italy once or twice. And, I mean, over there, it was just, we were just cleaning our weapons and testing them. And we'd get to hang out topside in the sun. And, I mean, it's pretty sweet deployment as far as deployments go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are good experiences, man.
Yeah.
I wish I could have done that. I really thought about enlisting at a young age, and then life happened. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't able to do the military life. But I have a lot of respect for people that have done it. I think it gives you a lot of experiences you probably wouldn't have had a chance to do, and then it sets you up for your career from there. So when you got out of the Navy, did you land here in Denver, or how'd you get here in Colorado?
It was a little bit of a transition. I went back for more school because who doesn't like being in school all the time? Did that for 2 years in South Carolina, where I'm from.
Okay. Oh, South Carolina?
Okay. Yep.
Whereabouts?
Well, I was born and raised in Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got family down there.
Oh, nice. Where?
Yeah. Myrtle Beach,
okay.
Pawleys Inlet. They lived there for a little bit. And then,
Nice. Very cool. I love the coast. I love being out on the beach. It's like my favorite place. So I was there for a couple of years after the Navy, and then moved out here to Denver. Okay. After that.
Oh yeah. So like Denver, you've been out here for how long now?
3 years.
3 years. Okay.
3 years. Yeah.
So you're still getting your feet underneath you out here.
Yeah.
Here in
Part
the
of
Mile
that
High.
like onslaught of people moving to the city.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. I came here right when it all began. I felt like they call it a melting pot here now.
Yeah.
I came here in 07, 08, somewhere in there from New England, and then from then on it's just been everybody's moving here.
Yeah.
Great place to be though.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot going on. So,
For
tell
sure.
us a little bit about what you do now, post Navy. What kind of stuff you do?
Yeah. So we
here in
keep
Denver.
talking about Clint. Yeah.
Yeah, Clint.
So Clint, I work with Clint, and he got me my job. I mean, I had an interview and all that, but he like introduced me to this position. So if you remember, if you go back and listen to his episode. Like a year ago, he talks about his job. We have the same job. We're both Scrum Masters. And so it's essentially like a team coach. So you can go back and listen to Clint's episode where he kind of breaks it down. But he and I do the same thing, just with very different teams.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you guys remember that conversation?
Yes.
I
applied for SAFE and all that.
Oh, no way.
And I didn't quite have the sales history for them at the time.
Yeah.
And I don't know how to get that, I'm doing the same type of sales I was doing. But it seems like it's a cool program. It's a cool company, and so it's definitely something. It's like an ideal. It's almost like a way of doing things. You're not selling something that's tangible that you could touch.
Right.
It's more like
a system.
Yeah. Of how to get it done.
It's hard to explain to friends and family. They're like,
Sure.
What do you do? Who do you work for? I'm like, well, it's complicated because we don't build anything physical.
Yeah.
So it's there's a lot of kind of abstract to it. But that's interesting what you say about not having the experience. And when I was looking for jobs, that would drive me crazy when they'd be like, you have to have the experience doing this thing, but the only way you can get this job is if you have experience. So it's like, which is it? How am I supposed to get this experience if you won't hire me?
Right.
Which is part of why I'm so grateful to Clint, because I didn't have any experience as a Scrum Master. And when they were hiring, he was like, but we had worked together at a different company, and he was like, I think you could do this. Here's what you need to be successful. And came in to interview, and they were like, we're like, yeah, we know you don't have experience, but we're going to give you a shot. That's tough. That's really hard to find that, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, for people to like not, because I don't have a college degree, so even though I have like a massive amount of sales experience, I know Kevin does too. Like we've both done sales since after high school, and like in the field, like we know how to talk to people. We've learned the techniques over time, how to listen correctly, and it's like, what is more valuable than that experience? But if you don't have a degree, then you can't even apply for jobs that you would probably completely crush at.
Right. They look at your resume and go, well, we're not seeing this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Even if you've come up, through the trenches.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that is one of the things that will like challenge or like relearn as part of, and this sounds, hear me out, as part of coronavirus. Like it's forcing us to like see everything differently. And with like the way we go to class now is like totally different, right? The way that you go to college is totally different. So I'm wondering too how that will change our perspectives. My brother, he was looking for a job a couple months ago. He got hired right before he was in the office for like 2 weeks before coronavirus. And he's in the same position. Like he didn't go to school. He like went right out. He was like dead set on being an entrepreneur. Right out of college, he went out and like traveled and got like tons of cool experience. And he was like, it drives me crazy when I go to apply for something and they look at the resume and they're just like, you don't have a degree. But he's been amazing at like networking and finding, he got a job at Hulu. That's where he's working now. And like they love him. Everything he works on, they just like, he's so smart and charismatic, and he has so much experience from like traveling and doing things that were totally different than what I was doing when I was in a classroom. And people love that. I mean, it shows leadership and the ability to just get stuff done. And so anyway, I love singing my brother's praises because I have so much respect for him. And I think he's a prime example of someone who's like, why do I need to take on all this student debt and sit in a classroom for 4 years when I could just go get my own experience?
Absolutely. It's totally obtainable. I mean, you don't have to rack up the student debt, I don't feel like, to be able to perform the same position that somebody who did spend $100,000, to get that kind of knowledge, just coming through the trenches, experiencing different things.
Yeah.
That's cool. Hulu, huh?
Yeah.
The video stream service.
Exactly. I'm like, can you hook me up with like a free
subscription
or something?
Yeah. I like Hulu.
I just want to buy Disney Plus again when the second season of Mandalorian comes out.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I didn't see the first season.
Dude, that theme song for that. Ugh.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And so are you a big Star Wars fan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know all the different things. I've watched like the hour and a half long full canon history of Star Wars.
Wow.
Yeah,
I haven't
just
heard.
Kind of go into that.
Everyone has movies that they love and hate. Like the Star Wars, they're like, this one, whatever. This one was great. This one was horrible. Nobody has said they didn't like The Mandalorian.
It was done right. And one thing that was really interesting about how they shot The Mandalorian was the type of studio that they shot it in. So they shot it in, and it's basically just a room with 3 big walls, and they would use projections on it. And so all the lighting that goes into any of the metals, anything like that, is actual real reflections. And so that's why it like looks really good. It's like this new way of shooting where you're not on set. It's like a projection of things, and then they set it to like that character. So when the camera pans, all the backgrounds move, coordinating to where that character's standing. But if you're looking from any other perspective from that one, then it like looks all weird.
Oh wow!
So it's like it's very interesting kind of way how they recorded and like filmed that whole series.
I haven't seen any of it.
Cool.
But as far as like a canon like Star Wars thing, like they did it right with the bounty hunter. I think everyone's cool with Baby Yoda.
Baby Yoda took over the meme world and all that kind of stuff.
I know. I
That's
can't
all
wait.
I see.
Yeah.
But
so is Ahsoka Tano coming to season 2 of The Mandalorian? It sounds like it.
Wait, who was that? What was that?
Ahsoka Tano.
Which character was that?
So she's from the Clone Wars.
Okay.
The animated series.
Okay.
So that was really like kind of childish, but it was one of the better Star Wars series. Like I love the Clone Wars. I watched that a couple times. She was the Padawan learner underneath Anakin.
Gotcha.
during the Clone Wars, and she ends up being rejected by the Jedi Council and kind of goes and does her own thing. When Order 66 happens, she's not like around any of that, and you know, she's badass basically.
Very cool.
Great Jedi.
Is she the one with the?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what those are.
Yeah.
Horns or
No, it's like some kind of hair. I forget the
Hair.
species name.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's that one with like what this kind of orange skin ish,
Yeah.
and like with the white details.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep, I don't know anything about that. Star Wars has never been my thing. I don't know a whole lot about it.
Well, that would be interesting if she came into The Mandalorian, because it's a cartoon, right? The Clone Wars are cartoons, and if she came in,
So it looked like they were casting somebody for it, and she'd be like a full-grown adult at that point in time.
cool.
So the casting for her looks pretty good. So everyone's all super hyped up, like she's gonna be in it. Everyone's super excited for
Yeah, interesting.
that.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I know Bill Burr was in one or two of the episodes. My favorite comedian. So.
Yeah.
Oh, was he? Who
yeah.
was he?
He
He's
played.
in like a jailbreak episode.
Oh,
So
okay.
you would know.
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
Did he have like a line? Was he a character?
Yeah,
or was
you know, he was like one of the
really?
main characters in the jailbreak episode where they like go onto the rebel ship and go to like capture, you know, break this guy out, and it's like the Mandalorian's old crew,
Okay.
you know.
I'll check it out.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
You know, all that geeky stuff, I'm into it. I'm into X-Men. I'm like into all that stuff.
Are you a Marvel fan?
I'm DC and Marvel.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You know, I don't know if I'm happy with the fact that Disney owns Star Wars and Marvel and Fox Entertainment and all these other things. Like,
They control the market.
they really do.
Disney stock. It's gonna be interesting to see what it does.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
so you were saying something about Tesla stocks?
that's right.
Yeah, Tesla just announced their earnings reports here in the after hours, and they've reported 4 straight quarters of growth, which is huge. You know, right now they trade with the Nasdaq, and they're trying to make a move to the S&P 500, which is big because Nasdaq is a lot of tech companies, international funds. S&P 500 is American-based. A lot of mutual funds can eat that up. They can split their share prices. You know, there's a lot of things that can come from Tesla right now. And Elon Musk just made the announcement probably an hour or two before we started recording that Tesla is moving to Austin, Texas. So they're moving out. Well, they're at least putting a huge plant into Austin, Texas for production for these Teslas. So big news for those guys for sure. And
Where
I expect,
are they now? In the Bay Area?
yeah, they're L.A. somewhere maybe.
Okay.
I know they're California based. I don't know where exactly, but. Elon's built a great company there, and those guys, I mean, for a car company, you know, they consider them a tech company, but they're a car company, and their share prices are crazy, almost $1,700 a share at the moment. So,
Really?
big news for Tesla. It'd be cool to see what they got in the future.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
I don't play the stocks too much. Kevin's over here day trading.
Yeah.
And,
I like the
but he's
markets.
new to this, and all you listeners know, like Kevin he's one of those 2 feet jumping in, 2 feet in to the deep end type of guy. So that's one of the things he improved his lifestyle with during quarantine was,
nice.
was
Learn how to
learning
play
the
some
stock
stocks,
market
yeah.
a little
Nice.
bit.
and I'm not, like I said, I'm not a Wolf of Wall Street.
You're
but
doing well with it though. He's
Having a good time.
He's having
What's
fun.
your like level of risk aversion versus?
Yeah, I mean, you know, because I'm in my early 30s, a lot of people are like, well, and some people don't even have a 401 yet. So my big thing is mine's a 401 Roth, so it's pre-tax going in. If you're going to play with retirement swing trades, not a lot of retirements offer a swing trade option, so to speak. So you don't have cash on the side kind of thing. And that's the way you swing trade a 401 is to be able to have a cash on the side option to buy the dips. So anytime the markets are red, you're buying with your profits, essentially, and just compounding interest over time. So, you know, when coronavirus hit in March, everybody took about a 20% dip for the most part in the markets because it was like huge sell-off. We don't know what's going on. Now we're looking at all-time highs in the NASDAQ. S&P is going to go all-time high here in the next few weeks. It's a good time to be in the markets, but it's very volatile. You don't know what's going to happen day to day. We're in an election year. A lot of crazy shit's going on. But for the most part, it doesn't directly affect the economy from what I've seen. I mean, bad news will affect it. Sure, there's going to be panic sell-offs. Tesla's good news today will affect it tomorrow. But regardless of what's going on, for the most part, the market should stay strong after what we learned from 2008. But not to go on a big NYSE rant here on the stock exchange. It's just fun, man. It's just it's an opportunity to make a little bit extra money.
Yeah.
it's not
I'll
right.
just give you my money and you can help me invest it because
a
everything
lot of
you just
pressure.
said is like Russian to me. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But if Clint were in here, he'd be able to like fire off.
I think we should get maybe down the road we'll get an episode of both you and Clinton here.
Oh, that would
You
be
guys
cool.
We've never done.
We've never
We did 4 audio, but never video.
never video.
Ah,
That'd
okay.
be so next time we have you
Yeah.
back, we might get Clint with you.
For sure.
But yeah, man.
Playing
Here we
with
are.
money, man. Playing playing with, just the idea. Like it's good to keep your perspective fresh with things, like you gotta try to look at yourself constantly and be crucial about yourself, because if you're not doing that, then you're not gonna allow yourself to grow. Like, I mean, I'm gonna sit down and play some video games this week, and at some point I'm gonna be sitting there thinking, like, is this really the best way to be spending my time? Like, isn't there dishes I could go do, or like, So that's just one thing I try to keep doing, man. Is just being a little, critical of how I am, and maybe I'm a little bit, what is it, OCD about things sometimes. Like, I don't know.
Could be.
I don't like to out-guilt myself whenever I'm like, oh, I just wasted an hour on TikTok. Like, what a waste of time. And then I feel like super guilty, and then I start beating myself up about it. And I'm like, you know what? It's okay sometimes to just chill out, let my brain not focus on anything and just waste some time.
That's true.
Yeah, a little bit of relaxing time.
Yeah.
Kind of get away.
Yeah.
So so TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Do you produce content on there, or are you mostly just like a watcher?
I'm afraid to answer that question.
Okay.
I do have an account. Yeah, I've made some videos.
Okay, I'll check you out here. We'll look you up after the
Are
show.
you guys? Do you have a stance on TikTok? Do you love it? Do you hate it?
So I'm kind of, I don't know how I feel about it, because now with the Secretary of Defense and the National Security is going, okay, we're talking about banning TikTok here in the States, because a lot of people have said it is Chinese spyware disguised as social media that everybody knows and loves. I mean, TikTok is like Snapchat on steroids, basically, or what was that other short video service they had? Vine. Yeah, it's like that. And I will say this, man, my girlfriend loves TikTok, and I see some of the shit that people put out. It's very entertaining.
Oh yeah,
it's very entertaining. But what do you think? Are they going to ban it?
I have no idea. Do you think it really could? I mean, do you think the Chinese are like spying on us through social media?
I think it's very possible.
They're gathering data. Like, data's worth money. Like, people's information is worth money, because then you could sell it to advertisers. It was like
the Face app. Remember when Face app was big last year? We talked about this in the pod last summer. The Face app, where you would take a picture of yourself,
make you turn old,
and it would make you look like 40, 50 years older, and everybody was going berserk about it. And then 3 days later, it was all Russian or Chinese spy.
Yeah.
And then that just went away.
Well, all right. So let's say hypothetically let's say that's the case. How long do you think it would take our own national security folks to figure that out and to make that decision, right? Like, if it took the Face app thing 3 days.
Yeah, because they mentioned that whole thing about it being banned like a while ago already, like a couple weeks ago.
It's been a couple weeks.
Right.
And it basically, I think it was Pompeo said, we're looking at banning the use of TikTok in the States. It probably would have happened by now, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's great entertaining content, though. At the end of the day, TikTok, there's some funny stuff on there.
I'm trying to be, I gotta be honest, I'm being like willfully ignorant about the whole China thing. Like, I don't want to know, because I feel like if I know that they're spying on us, then I won't want to use it. I won't want to engage, right?
Sure.
So I'm like, oh man, I just don't want to know.
Yeah, it's sometimes better. And I always feel like if people are spying on me, if they're looking at what I'm doing, it's not really that exciting. It just isn't. So if they're looking at what I'm doing, they're like, this guy, okay, he's not a real threat. We're not going to really gain a lot of information from him. Maybe his search history is questionable on some of the things that happens.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Right.
Maybe that's why you get those weird text advertisements.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah. That can be a little freaky. When you get an advertisement for something that you're like, I wasn't even looking for this, but I said it the other day.
You literally just got done talking about it. That always wigs me out. You see it a lot on Facebook, but Facebook's under a lot of criticism with pulling ads and stuff like that.
Like the Alexas and the Google Homes and stuff.
They're always listening.
I will never have one of those plugged into my house. Like, I don't care how convenient it makes life. Even though this is already doing, the cell phone is already doing it. But I don't want something that I don't use for anything else. I don't know.
Should we test it? Should we talk about something right now that we would never, ever, ever buy, and then see if it pops up?
Kentucky's Fried Chicken.
I'd probably buy
KFC.
KFC will probably get advertising for.
I was thinking like Victoria's Secret or something like that.
Okay,
I
that's
buy
fun.
KFC and then see if it pops up. Or like diapers. You guys have kids?
No.
Let's talk about diapers.
But I have been having
Pampers.
issues wanting to get up to use the restroom. So I think I'd rather just hang out.
Just go ahead and order the diapers.
Yeah.
Why not?
I'm losing the will to want to get up to go pee.
You need, what do they call it? Incompetence?
Right. Yeah.
When you got to put a little bit of Depends on in case you have a drip.
That's funny. I wonder if I wore a pair of Depends and I intentionally just was being lazy. If no number 22. You just go number 1 in that.
This is starting to go off the rails.
So like, does it soak up the pee really fast, or am I left with like wicking humidity down there? Like, how does it depends? You know, I'm just kind of curious.
I don't have any experience.
Is this another like would you rather?
No.
Would you rather?
Would you rather get up to use the restroom, or would you rather wear Depends and pee in your pants?
I think I'm getting up. That's what I would do until I can't.
I'll try it once. You know.
I don't know about all that.
You know, if I'm in that mad gaming session, like I'm like, dude, you know, I just want to sit on this couch for 2 hours, 3 hours straight. I don't want to get up for anything. You just put on some Depends.
That must be a really intense game.
It's like Skyrim or something.
Yeah.
You know, nothing too intense.
Nothing too intense.
Do you do gaming?
That's funny. Not really, no.
How about sports? You into sports at all?
Not really that either, no. Unless you count CrossFit as a sport.
I think it is, probably.
It's probably a hot
So
topic.
how often are you doing that then?
5 or 6 days a week.
Yeah.
If I can, typically.
Damn, that's pretty intense.
What do you think? Sport or not a sport?
I mean,
it's gotta be a sport.
It's like training. Like training is like, you know, all athletes have to train, and like you're training, so it's like you could be an athlete. So it's pretty much a sport.
I mean, I guess a lot of people categorize a sport as some sort of competitive nature with an end result, but you're still doing that with CrossFit. I mean, you go in there 5-6 days a week. The end result is, you know, body results, improvement, strength.
But maybe it's not a sport because you're not competing against anybody.
Depends.
But does a sport? Do you have to have a competition?
Does a sport always have to be competition? I don't know.
I don't know, because that's the sport.
Yeah, I guess. Sports typically come down to a winner or loser.
It's sport-ish because any athlete has to train.
Yeah.
But it's not quite a sport unless if you're competing with somebody and all right, I'll beat you in pull-ups.
Right. Which
or something like that. Or
yeah, I guess it's both. Because there are competitions. There's even professional competitions.
So it's definitely a sport then.
But you could go do it and not compete, which I guess is true of any sport. Like you could go play soccer and be like, we're not going to keep score.
Yeah,
that's true.
Although then
or just go shoot hoops for fun.
Right.
You know,
still a sport.
Yeah, still a sport. I think it's a sport. That's
that's
my claim to sportsdom.
I'm going with sport on that. CrossFit, I've never done it. I probably should do something. Especially with Sober October coming. We're going to figure out this fitness challenge, I think.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you have any ideas.
Well, we're going to come up with something. I mean, I gotta take care of good old Bessie here.
You named it?
Just right now I did. but so, if you could give humanity, like, any piece of advice to, like help humanity, like, if you could say something and this information is going to help people, like, what would be your piece of advice to help humanity excel and be better? Man,
that is a lot of pressure. Just show love. I mean, that's like universal, right? In any situation, right? You're trying to figure anything out. Is this something that's showing love to somebody else, or is this something that's hurting the other person? I'd say show love, even if it's tough love.
Yeah.
Right? That's my one piece of advice. What do you think?
I think it makes a big difference. I think just, caring for an individual, showing love goes a long way.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is, like you said, tough love, whatever it is, whatever someone is going through, just being there for someone, caring for that individual, making them feel like they actually matter, is going to go a long way. Now more than ever, I feel like.
I mean, I could agree with that. During quarantine, I've been, my girlfriend and I, we live together, so we've spent more time together than we ever have. And we definitely have had some bouts. And I feel like a lot of couples out there have had bouts, and that's, that piece of advice is crucial, because if you start going into that argument or that discussion and you can revert yourself to thinking like, all right, like we might not agree, I might be getting frustrated right now, but let me show love through this. Then that's going to help your whole demeanor with communicating with that person.
Yeah.
And that's definitely important, man.
Yeah.
Try to bring it back sometimes, and just I love this person, or even just for other people, like respect. Like, I don't care about all the anti-maskers. I think y'all are ridiculous. Like, just wear a mask, and it's just like going and showing a little bit of love for everybody else, like out there. Like, let's get through this, because if people do catch COVID, like they could die super quick with pre-existing conditions, or maybe they're just apt to it. So it's like, just show a little love, wear a little mask. It's not a big deal. Like, I don't know. There's so many different ways you can play that.
Yeah. think it's hard. It's easy to give that advice, but it can be hard, especially in times like this where we're so divisive, so many different things. I mean, you brought up the anti-maskers. There's Black Lives Matter. There's a number of other things, and it's like, well, so take me for example. I'm gay. If I meet someone who's kind of blatantly homophobic, that's hard. How am I supposed to show this person love or respect or whatever when I feel like we fundamentally disagree? And that's hard. But it's like, can I figure out like what is good about this person? What is it that how did they get to where they are today? Like, how did they develop these beliefs and these biases, and how can I use positive emotion to work through those instead of like negative emotion to like fight that person and then get nowhere? That's a good mindset to be in. I think a lot of people are so stuck in a rut of this is what I think, that's it. Not a lot of open-mindedness, just falling into what's comfortable. This is what I know. I don't want to try new things. This is what I was taught. This is how I grew up, whatever. I mean, I was a victim of that coming out of a very secluded area. It took until I got into a more culturally diverse area for me to be more accepting and understanding of different things, And that's a life lesson that some people don't get to experience, I guess. But yeah, we're at a time where it's like, it doesn't matter what you look like or who you love or, we're all people. At the end of the day, we're all Americans or wherever nationality you are. And that's what's most important. It's enough of this divisiveness and putting people in specific boxes. We're all people and we're all equal at the end of the day. Well, that's what I love about what you guys are doing with this podcast. So I never turn on network news because it drives me crazy. It's so divisive. That's what I love about podcasts and social media, whether we're getting spied on or not. It's great. Like that stuff tends to be more positive, right? It's dialogue. It's people bringing people together and discussing tough stuff and having hard conversations, but doing it from a place of positive intent, rather than trying to split us up and put us into boxes. So I love this. I think this is great.
Thanks, this discussion combustion was designed, because I've known Kevin for we told the story a bunch of times. You've never heard it. So we've known each other for like over 10 years and always had a lot of good conversations. And, we would be drinking beers and all of a sudden it's 3 a.m. We're like, Jesus Christ, we just talked the whole fucking night away. And so Kevin was like, let's start it up, man. It's just friends talking with people and we're genuinely interested. Like we're happy that you came in here, man. And we really want to talk to everybody, and just have that platform where it's an accepting place where we can be critical about things, but ultimately there's love there. Yeah,
it's crucial. And like you said, I've always said podcasting and radio and things like this give a very diverse look into real things and an opportunity for people to connect with real people. Whereas anytime you turn on Kimmel or Fox News or CNN, you're seeing a very scripted, interview, and this is how it's going to go. It's short. You're going to be talked over. People are tired of that. They want to be able to connect with real stuff, have real conversations, have real people interact with each other. I just think that this is the time to do it. 2020 is a wild year. People are doing crazy things, and
you don't even need to say wild year. It's just 2020. People already know.
Just 2020.
You just say 2020, man.
From now on in the future,
like something crazy happens.
15 years from now, they'll be like, "Man, that was some 2020 shit that just happened there."
But do you think there'll be like 2020, like the same thing in 2021? All this crazy stuff will start happening. It'll be like 2021. It's crazy.
Yeah, who knows?
2020 will always be the birth, but it's still going to ripple into 2021. Like, we're still going to be dealing... Okay, so I'm not an expert. This is based on opinions, only my intuition. I feel like it's going to be like a year and a half to 3 years before we have a vaccine. And I feel like it'll be like another 5 years after that to where, like, the social effects and economic effects wear out. And then, like, for things to rebuild, it'll be like another 3 years after. So you're, like, probably looking at, like, another 10 years before the effects of this are kind of fizzling.
Yeah.
It's going to take a while.
It's just so unpredictable. I feel like I wish we had a crystal ball. It's just every day is something new is being added in, and all we can do is the best we can do.
Yeah.
So if you could give yourself a hashtag,
oh god,
what would your hashtag be?
Hashtag.
Put Sam on the spot.
Oh man, I don't know if I'm not gonna be able to come up with a good answer. That's like, anytime you make a post, you have to write like a caption or a hashtag. That's like the hardest part is coming up with how do you capture this. Oh man.
I mean, So you could do like hashtag show love, because that was kind of like
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
your go-to.
I like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
I mean, mine's believe and achieve for the
Believe and
DCPC.
achieve.
Let her rip,
Nice.
let her rip,
Let her
tater
rip,
chip,
And then, of
Tater
course,
chip.
own it. Yeah,
Own it.
I like,
that's one
those
of
are
our
all
sta-
good. Those are all really good.
Yeah, but we thought about those, so like,
Yeah,
putting you on the spot.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to come back.
Yeah, I think you should come back. Maybe we
Episode
get you and
16.
Clint on the next one.
That'd be awesome.
You know,
Yeah,
we'll get another camera going and get you guys back on. But hey, man, it was cool to sit down and have a chat with you.
absolutely.
Bringing you on DCP. So we
Yeah,
had a good
this was
episode here.
good.
It looks like it was a long one.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Good
Sorry.
energy. That's
Yeah.
what happens.
I'll
Good
talk
energy
your
in the
head
room.
off. Yeah,
No, that's cool, man. It's always fun to just sit down and meet new people.
yeah.
You know, and in these times, it's tough to do that. Everybody wants to, like you
True.
said, you started doing online dating via FaceTime and stuff like
Right,
that. I've never
right.
experienced that. I'm sure that that was pretty wild, but glad you met someone and things are going good.
Yeah,
That's
thanks.
exciting.
Thanks.
Keep it up. Enjoy that birthday.
Yeah.
and then get really into that diet.
And then we get into whole
You know.
30. Yep.
The whole 30, man. I'm going to be looking into that a little bit
I'll
more,
have
I
to
think.
follow up and let you know how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. We'll have Sober October coming up. Maybe we can have you back on somewhere, around there and see how she shakes out.
Absolutely.
So-
Well, hell yeah, listeners. It's always a pleasure coming in here. This is one of my favorite parts of the week, is coming in, talking to great people, talking with okay people. I'm joking. I love this guy. But like, this is good for me. It's like a session.
like
I
therapy.
get to spill my beans a little.
It's a little bit like therapy.
And crack some jokes and have some fun. So we're looking forward to coming back next week as always. Might have a guest, might do a solo. And as the week is still pumping on. I'm trying to crush my days. I'm believing and achieving that. Believe and achieve it, people. Whatever you want to do, just think about it, believe about it, and achieve about it.
Good words, Art. As always, coming in with the hard close. Let her rip, tater chip. Best listeners in the game right now in Denver, Colorado. Really appreciate the support we have here at Discussion Combustion Podcast. This thing continues to grow because you guys are helping us do that. Be sure to follow us on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're everywhere. DiscussionCombustion.com. Be sure to sign up over there. Clint designed that website for us. So thanks, Clint. We appreciate you for doing that. Teespring.com/DCPC. Get some merch. That'll also help us. Patreon, if you want to sign up over there at Patreon/DCPC.
We got some pre-show action.
Get some pre- and
We're setting
post-show
up
action.
stuff. You get to see us act stupid before things go down.
It's a community.
And of course, subscribe, like us, helps visibility. We're going to be coming at you next week.
Yeah, we'll be back for episode 60. Sam, it was awesome having you here, man. Appreciate your time and coming down here and chatting with us. It was a lot of fun. Sorry about the fly in your face. We're gonna have to address that on the next one.
We're going to bring a zapper down.
Maybe a little zapper. So, all right, guys, we'll see you back here for episode 60 next week. Thanks for tuning in.